You get a pool, sir, in the back. Everybody gets a pool. Not exactly a giveaway, though, when you consider the tuition. All of the Rollins sports teams are called the Tars. T-A-R-S. Go Tars! Wait a minute, what am I cheering for? What's a tar? It's an old English word, slang, sailor. So it makes sense they're right on the water. They do very well in sports involving it. Of course, they swim with 3 pools. They crew, row. They also sail. And they also water ski. Here's the midpoint of that nature walk. Those boat-shaped benches give you a place to flop down in the shade, look at the lake, or look at the latest Spanish architecture. This is Lakeside. 400 beds, student housing, home of one of the pools. Behind the building there. It's shaped like an anchor. Notice a trend developing here? They like nautical stuff. Here's the boathouse, shared by the real sailors and the real water skiers. School's out, no athletics, and when that happens, that mean old ski coach always takes his ski jump and parks it on the shore where we can't use it while he's gone. Now, I'll tell you, if we could lose the fence and I did a hard left, I think we could get on top of that museum in a heartbeat. The boss wants me to try it with an empty boat first. Don't worry, you're not getting fixed. This, by the way, is the Rollins Museum of Art. 5,000 works in the collection. They're outgrowing the space. They're going to move off campus. You've got plenty of time to see the original. They haven't started yet. Just don't worry. The museum will move across from the Alphon Inn off campus. The Alphon is a 4-star hotel. Rollins owns it. Rollins operates it. Anything you spend there goes directly to scholarship. It's easy to spot. It's under the red frame. They're expanding. 71 more rooms, a spa, and 1 more pool if you don't know. Here's where the nature path takes you to this city park. Here's a dock where you can swim. More like waiting for and that, by the way, is where the shadow you can stand. Right there where the pier is. So that's where the lawn ended up. At the other end of the park, we used to have a railroad depot where you see the boat launch for a little railroad called the Orlando and Winter Park Railroad. Lovely name, horrible means of transportation. The train was slow, the train was noisy, and it would not stay on the tracks. But anytime they had a problem, they'd reach out to the Rollins campus and grab some students. They'd help put the little train back on the little tracks one more time. They hated that. They called the railroad the Dinky Line. The name stuck. That's Dinky Dock, even today. Next door is Sutton Place, an apartment building that Rollins picked up for student housing. They got a pool in the deal, but they had to bring it up to Rollins standards, so they put in the palm trees and built the study dock. You can imagine how much studying goes on with kids in swimsuits. I mean, maybe anatomy, but they can't get too out of control. The president of Rollins lives right next door in Barker House. What a perk. As long as you are the president of Rollins College, that's your lakefront estate. Maybe that's why there's not a lot of turnover in that job. We are off campus and headed back into the canal. But first, this lacy or feathery plant is called papyrus, papiro in Espanol. And if you didn't fall asleep in ancient history class, you might have learned that long ago in Egypt, they figured out a way of making paper out of that stuff. And of course, a lot of the Bible was written on papyrus. This one is full of something called Spanish moss. It turns out that is a total misnomer. No, it's España. It's not from Spain. No, it's Musco. It's not even moss. No, the secret here is this is a bromeliad. Bromelia. And that puts it in the same category as, get this, pineapples, piñas. Please don't put it on Hawaiian pizza. That is a pagoda plant to the left. Here are the frog and the alligator statues to the right, in case you missed them before. It's your chance for disappointment now. The bananas are real, but these little guys are not ready to eat. The only ones even closer, way up there and out of reach. So we have actually had to shut down our snack tours for now. This is bamboo, not native to Florida. But it grows extremely well here. The joke is, plant it and then run to the house before it catches you. It grows almost that quickly. Little dip, and a bigger one under the big bridge. But first, look above Osceola Avenue. That flowering tree is called a bougainvillea or bougainvillea. The secret there is what you see up there in red or roja are not flowers at all. They are leaves that have changed color, like a poinsettia plant does. They're called bracts. B-R-A-C-T-S. These things above our heads, these are called pipes. P-I-P-E-S. Remember them? Well then, please remember what to do. Good work. Now we can stretch our necks after all the ducking. Look up, look left. That is the tallest and oldest live oak in Winter Park. It is said to be older than the United States itself. And here's the trophy. Here's some more bamboo now on the left. Different variety than back there. Same aggressive growth pattern. Here's a tip to take home. If you ever find yourself living next to really awful neighbors, plant bamboo on the property line, step back and watch it do its magic. It will form a living wall like these on our left. You may never see those neighbors again. You are welcome. Now to the right, in the water. These are cypress knees. Cypress trees don't have to grow in or around water, but they will. If they're wet, the roots know enough to send up those spikes, those knees, to get above the water line. And the orange flowers back there, birds of paradise. This is the Sinclair estate. If you remember the oil company, that was the family's winter getaway for years. And if you do remember the company, you might remember they had a lovable mascot, a little dinosaur character called Dino. There used to be a statue of Dino on the beach, but he disappeared a while ago, very mysteriously. We're still not sure if that was a Rollins prank or extinction, but doesn't matter, no more Dino. Do we have any New Yorkers on board? Any connection will do. I just need a city or a borough, please. What do we got? No, New York, man. Okay, if we don't get any closer, we'll let this lady from across the Hudson steal the show. But that's fine. Any New Yorkers? No? We're going with you, man. We're going to swim across the Hudson. We're in New York now. We're going to go upstate to a little town called Portland. It's near Syracuse. It produced a very important couple for Winter Park called the Brewers. Mr. Brewer was a big shot. He owned a factory up there, and he made carriage parts. But guess where he would come every winter to buy his lumber? The sawmill, unlike Virginia. Ding, 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 ding. He'd come when the weather was good in the winter, and he'd stay. He'd make it a winter vacation. Did he bring a rate of sunburned snakes and swamps? Finally, he got her to come for a visit, and she loved it. This may be the reason. Look up the hill. That is the Brewer estate, also known as the Palms. The secret? It is a copy of their place up north. He just took the old blueprints, dusted them off, and built that high on a hill. You know what they say, happy wife. Well, that's true. I was trying to get the men involved here. Guys, missed opportunity. Your line, happy life. Learn it, live it, love it. That's not me talking. That's my wife. I think we're probably all in the same. Anywhere you look in Winter Park, you're bound to find beautiful homes. Even our birds live pretty well. But the secret is, on the human side, one architect designed almost 100 homes here. His name was James Gamble Rogers II. Here is one of his works coming up on the point. This is the Rich estate. And just as in the case of Genius, that is a family name, not a play on words. It's been there since 1956, but a lot of our guests say it looks to them like it belongs on the island of Bermuda. And it does have some island connections in the architecture. The white roof, those fish fins or praying hands over the chimney, they prevent downdrafts when you have a fire going. There's a nice sandy beach. They say of the rich estate that every single room in the place has a great view of Lake Osceola. Well, that was then. Let me show you now. What have we here? New construction. So what do you think, Danny? Has someone just built the richer estate right next to it? I've always wondered how they did at the first block party. I mean, after all, who's doing the blocking here anyway? Well, let's talk alligators if you'll let me. I do want to apologize about that lame statue back there in the canal. I am sorry, but some days that's as good as we get. Do we have alligators in our lakes? Yes. Do we have a lot of them? No. For that, you need to go 10 miles to the northeast to a place called Lake Jessup. It is said you can walk across Lake Jessup on the backs of alligators. I would check your insurance policy carefully first. Should we be worried about the alligators that we do have? I would say just a little bit in the front feet. And you know what they are strangely attracted to? Polka dots. Don't know why, but don't worry too much, ma'am, because we're not going over there to Alligator Cove. But up until 1980, I'll tell you, that was the place for any alligator to go worth his salt for a date in mating season. This, of course, was before Tinder. No need to swipe left or swipe right. If you were an alligator looking for love, that was the spot. But it ended in 1980 when the city hired a trapper, and that trapper pulled out 150 alligators. Even if you got them all back then, it's been, 42 years? We don't see them very often. We know we have a few. Remember, they are nocturnal.